All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy Friday, October 17th, coming to you live, coming to you well, and coming to you on the eve of true excitement. We go to EXPCon next week to represent, to learn, to network, to build. And I'm just excited to bring back everything that we learned from EXPCon and pour it into you guys. So this is the one event every single year that I truly don't miss, just because I know the value of just seeing the big picture of the company, the directional focus of the company, where we are at, where we are going. And you get to meet a lot of people that you only typically see on screen. So I'm really excited. And so I think a couple of you are going out there, but if not, it's okay. I'll see you at the next one. But Brandy, I know you're going. Is your flight at 8:30 a.m. American Airlines on Sunday?
Southwest at 6:50.
Oh, boo. We won't be on this.
Wah, wah.
But I'll probably run into you at the airport because I'll be there super early. But you guys, I'm just beyond excited. I'm beyond grateful. Also, it is our anniversary next week. And so my wife and I are going to spend a few extra days in Miami. She's never been. And I got some surprises up my sleeve for her. And so we're going to go and have some fun. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and kick this thing off. I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field and get this thing started. So Evangeline, that person is going to be you. Looks like you're making coffee in the moment. So I'm going to go to you and have you bring us out on the field on this amazing, beautiful Friday morning. So let's roll.
Morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I don't know, I stepped outside and it's hella crispy and we're getting into that fall season. It's cold, it's fresh, and I know you've already said it. We need to be thinking about what our marketing is going to look like, how we want to close off the end of the year, because we are in control of our own actions. But I think that we should also spend that time. It's easy to kind of like get on our ass, but it's also easy to miss the accomplishments. I don't know why that's hard this morning. Accomplishments that you've done thus far this year. So we're not in November yet, but I'm already in that spirit of gratitude. So and very thankful for all of y'all on the team. So I don't know, in a reflective state. So hope all of y'all can maybe relate.
I love this. Yeah, it is. I follow this guy. He's actually a pro snowboarder. He just started working for Burton, and you'll see him on my storyline from time to time. He's like, it rips, bro. And he looks like he's super high, but it's funny. He's just like, it rips, man. Like the crispiness of the fall. Like
I follow him too.
The guy is so funny, but yeah, like I love this time of year. You guys remember, I've been saying this for the last few weeks. This represents warmth. This represents family, but also it just represents us being very human. We have to understand at a very conscious level, there's some people that aren't going to have their loved ones at their dinner table this year. And so you guys just simply reaching out and being human and saying, hey, how are you and the family? Wishing you a happy fall season. I know it's a hard time for you and the family. If you ever need anybody to talk to, I'm here. Like just being human and reaching out, that goes so far this time of year, you guys. So lean into the human connection. It's not all about the business. This is about you just going out there and truly raising our human connection and being meaningful with all those reach outs. And so I appreciate that sentiment, Evangeline. Really crispy. Absolutely. Evangeline, I am grateful for you. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, you guys. We're obviously going to talk about action, but before we get there, I want to ask you guys just a quick question. I want to ask for some permission. Is it permission? Do I have permission just to go a little bit further with you guys today? Do I have permission? Cool. Thumbs up. All right, cool. Because I believe the work that we do in Keep It Moving, there's so much of this work that comes from the heart. That is all about psychology. It's about identity work. And I believe that that's what makes you guys different in our industry. Listen, I see teams from all across the country, and there's just something different about what we're able to create here. These sessions have been going on now since 2020. Wow, it's crazy. Just to think about how far this has come. And so I've become better because of you guys. And so I just wanted to say thank you. I got some things prepared today that are going to make you think and going to make you feel. And so I want to encourage you guys. If you're here in this moment and you're with us on the screen today, I want you guys to get involved. I want you to have your cameras on, throw your hands up. If you have something that hits you, you want to contribute, you have something you want to say, please do so. Remember, everyone has a voice and everybody has a contribution. You guys have heard everybody speak. You've heard so many people share, and it's touched you in different ways, or it sparked something, or it's giving you a business strategy that's helped you grow. So you guys, this is all encompassing. I want to share this with you because I thought this was powerful. So let me pull this up really quick. Boom, bam, we are in present. So today we're going to talk about the 5 brutal truths of psychology that everybody must face in order to succeed. So if you're a guest here, thank you for being here. Welcome to Keep It Moving Group Coaching, where we focus on keeping it moving towards our dreams, goals, and vision. So I saw this quote and I wanted to share this with you. I thought it was really, really powerful, and it is very simple. Entrepreneurship is realizing the person you have to become is harder to build than the business itself. I'm just going to pause for a second and I'm going to let that marinate. Entrepreneurship is realizing the person you have to become is harder to build than the business itself. I do want some thoughts on this, some contributions on this. I think this was really, really powerful in its simplicity. I want to hear from you guys where you go when you read this and when you see this. And please get involved in this conversation because I think that this lands for all of us. So anybody have a thought, contribution, or dialogue based on the quote that is on the screen right now? Let's open it up to you guys. Anybody have anything for me? Going once? All right, cool. Michael, let's go, big dog.
I'll contribute. I think, a lot of people want to get into entrepreneurship. They want the freedom, right? They want all of that stuff, and they don't understand everything that comes with it. And so just speaking for myself, I think entrepreneurship has just made me a better person, right? The traits and the qualities that I've picked up and learned along the way has elevated other areas of my life as well. So yes, you have to be a totally different person. You can't be the same person that you are when you're working a job because you're dependent on that job. That job is a safety net for you. When you're in entrepreneurship, there is no damn safety net. You got to grind. You got to go for yourself. So you have to have self-discipline. You got to stay focused. So I agree 100% with that quote.
Yeah, and I think that you became a better person, therefore your entrepreneurship became better, right? And I believe that, like, in order for us to really succeed in this business, we have to do a lot of work on ourselves, and that's the hardest thing. The business, you guys have all the systems, the flow, the tech, the SOPs, like, yeah, we can do all that. You guys all have blueprints, right? If you knock on doors, host the open houses, do this, manage your CRM. Look, we know the blueprint, but if you don't get right within, then none of that even matters. So Michael, I appreciate your contribution. Let's go Mohan and anybody else that has contribution on that vein, and we'll get right into the slides for today. Let's go, Mohan.
Sure. I agree with Michael, what he mentioned. And, talking about my own self, I have been having this employee mindset for a very long time. And I have been, where you work for an employer, you get your paycheck every 2 weeks once. And then there is this constant income that comes into your bank account every 2 weeks. And it is very easy to become lazy, unorganized, and then take things for granted. But entrepreneurship is totally a different ball game. It really talks about your own personality and how you want to shape your own self, how you want to conduct your own self with others. And you are responsible, answerable to your own self.
Yeah.
It is very, very important, and it's very hard to bring self-change. To ask somebody, hey, you're doing wrong, you need to change this, that, and other is very easy. But to bring self-change, discipline, consistency, motivation, it is not easy. It's not you go to Costco and get it. You cannot do that. So we need to work hard. And then this team has really helped me. I joined this team in March, end of March. 5 months passed by, no deals. In the last 2 months, I was able to close on 2 deals.
Let's go, Mohan. Let's go.
It is all because of self-discipline, consistency, and hard work, and get out of that employee mindset and think that I'm the owner, I'm the businessman.
I love it, Mohan. I absolutely love it. That's why I have a picture of you right here. And so I appreciate your contributions. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your thoughts on this. Let's get right into the conversation. Really, really good stuff, Mohan. And once again, I will encourage you guys. I'll encourage you. When I've taken a quote, I didn't write this quote. I'm not the author of this quote, but I saw it and I felt like, okay, I can use this in coaching. I can use this for perspective. What I'll also do is I'll probably use this and I'll make a video of it. Okay, I'll give my energy and my sentiment based on this so other people can feel that from my lens and my audience can hear this and listen to this from my voice. And so I encourage you guys to do the same thing. If you hear something on coaching today, like, hey, I heard something on coaching today and I want to give you guys my thoughts and my sentiment on it. Those types of things work and your audience will appreciate your vantage point on that. So let's get right into this. You guys, like I said, I'm going to hit you right in the gut today. And I'm going to hit you right in the gut because I want to give you guys some perspective. I want you to think and I want you to feel. And then we're going to talk about action. Your mind doesn't want you happy. It wants you safe. All right. So let's stay with me on this. The brain is a survival machine, not a fulfillment engine. Fear, procrastination, self-doubt are all safety mechanisms. Your brain wants to keep you safe. It is a protection mechanism. It wants to keep you in a place that you are feeling okay. And the moment we start to break out of that, when discomfort comes, it wants to protect you and it wants to hold you. So that's why winning the battle between the ears is the most important battle. Growth, let me get Vernon in this room really quick. Growth feels unsafe because your nervous system reads expansion as danger. Stay with me on this vein. You don't see reality, you see a projection of your beliefs. And I want that to land for you guys for a moment. For everybody in the back of the room, for everybody that has this on the background and they don't have their camera on, let me say this one more time, very loud and clear. You don't see your reality, you see a projection of your beliefs. Let's go a little bit further into this. Your brain filters reality through beliefs and identity. We've done a lot of identity work here. Vernon and I, we did identity work deeply in our last couple intensities. You don't see things as they are, you see things as you are. And when I read this, you guys, I thought that was so powerful. You see, you're looking at the view of the world through your own lens, through the way that you have maybe been brought up, your inherited beliefs, your society beliefs, maybe somebody's pressure, words that they put on you that aren't even yours, but somehow, some way that has shaped your beliefs. So you don't see things as they are. You see things as you are. That's why sometimes when you talk to somebody so negatively, they're like, no, you're dope. You're amazing. Look at all the things that you're doing. And that person, they don't see it because they see themselves as they are. And so I want you guys to look at this, read this, and understand this. And I'm also going to give you a prompt to put into your own chat so you can get your own responses. Your world mirrors your internal self-concept. You guys have heard me say this time and time again. The external world is a reflection of how you feel inside. Until you question your beliefs, you live in a hallucination built by your past. Some of you have old operating systems. Some of you have an OS that is no longer serving you. Some of you are working on yourself, and what you're doing is you're seeing that you've changed your operating system. You have updated the server. You have changed your modem. You have put some new circuitry in there, and now you are showing up in a different way. But some of us get held up on that old person, on that old programming. Well, some of us need to realize, are we truly living in the past? And do we need to upgrade the software that we're currently operating on? I'll pause for a minute. You guys with me so far? Give me a thumbs up, give me a high five, give me an emoji on the screen if you guys are with me thus far. Thank you. Let's continue cruising on. You repeat what you don't repair. Oh. Just want to let that sit there for a second. You repeat what you don't repair. And let me let Patrick back in the room. Patterns like toxic relationships or burnout are unhealed wounds replaying. Right? If you continuously put yourself in these situations, you continuously have shitty relationships, you continuously are making these bad decisions over and over and over again. Well, my friends, that is on you. You repeat what you don't repair. Every trigger is a mirror showing you what's unhealed in you. If something continues to emotionally fuel you or you get pissed off every single time, it's not everyone else's responsibility to control and walk on eggshells because you have triggers. You need to get right with yourself. You need to understand that you probably got some healing to do in order for you to go about this world and be the person that you truly want to be. Pain unexamined becomes identity. Without inner work, life becomes a loop, the same lessons with different faces. Without inner work, life becomes a loop of the same lessons with different faces. God, when I read that, you guys, it really, really stood out to me. So my hope is that you guys are taking notes, you guys are taking pictures of this, doing screenshots, and we're going to come back to this session later on. Let's continue cruising on. You're addicted to your emotional home. We all have a baseline emotion, anxiety, chaos, guilt that feels normal. You ever felt that person that just loves the chaos? They operate in anxiety. Their life is chaotic. When you know if they just fixed a couple things, their life wouldn't be as chaotic. But that's the emotional state that they're used to. They're addicted to that. They know no different. And change and structure and system and routine is something that is foreign to them, and they get scared of that. So where do they stay? They stay in the chaos because that's the emotional state that they've become addicted to for many, many years. Every misery can feel safe because it's known. You won't rise above the emotional state you secretly believe you deserve. Without emotional awareness, you'll keep recreating chaos that feels comfortable. And I'll pause for a second. I'm going to go to this next one, you guys. Identity is destiny. God, we talk a lot about identity in these rooms, you guys, and I'm going to hit you with this one. You never outperform your self-image. Every goal either reinforces or threatens who you believe that you are, my friends. Every goal either reinforces or threatens who you believe you are. If success doesn't align with your identity, you'll unconsciously destroy it. You see, if you don't see yourself as a successful person, as a person that has wealth, a person that has diversification, a person that is able to give in abundance, if you don't think that you're that person, then you're going to find every way to squander this business. You're going to find every reason not to step up. Not that you don't know how to do it, not that you're not smart enough, because you're all smart enough to do this game. But if you don't believe in the person that's going to have that money, then you're going to do everything in your ability to fuck this business off. If you don't get what you want, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Oh, let that sit for a second. Somebody said the other day, you're doing everything, right? You're doing. Stop doing and start being. When you start being, that means that who do I need to be in order to have $20 million in production every year, $40 million in production every year? Who do I need to be? You could go do all those actions, but are you actually thinking, operating, and are you being that person that truly, truly is a man or woman of wealth and success? I'm going to pause there, you guys. I want to get some thoughts from you guys, and I have some questions for you. And I wrote this down. Which of these truths hits the hardest for you right now? Where do you see your old patterns, old programming, steering your choices, and what identity must die for the next version of you to live? I want to hear from you guys. These are things that I definitely think that we need to continuously work on, conscious about our growth, conscious about our identity, conscious about our personal programming in order for us to all become the people that we truly want to become in this business. So I want to get some thoughts and I want to get some feedback from you guys. Make sure that if you want me to put those back up on the screen, I'll put it back up so you guys can take some pictures. You guys can do this work. I'm also going to put a prompt down in the chat down below, but I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to go to Ashley. I'm going to go to Vernon. I'm going to go to Shrey. And I want to hear from you guys. Where's your thoughts at? Where's your head at? And I want your guys' contribution on this conversation. Let's roll, Ash.
Hey, good morning. Oh man, that was deep. It had me thinking about like my past self and just uncomfortable patterns that I had to break out of to have a healthier identity and therefore a healthier life. I've had people tell me like, I'll just be completely transparent. Back maybe 15 years ago, I had somebody tell me, "Oh, you're welcoming drama." I said, "Well, I'm not asking questions about drama. They're just people are coming to me and telling me the drama." And they said, "Well, what is it about how you're reacting to that information that makes them keep coming to you?" And they told me it was a toxic trait. It was like a gutter mentality. And I was like, and it changed my mind and it enlightened me. And I stopped reacting to drama and closed down the chaos and I wouldn't entertain it any longer. And just that one little change changed a lot of the trajectory of my life, I think. And there's lots of little moments that have happened. I think the growth that you're talking about is huge. Leo just posted yesterday from EXP, and it really struck me. It said, "The world's changing faster than ever. Your edge isn't what you know, it's how fast you can learn what you don't. Staying curious is the only way to not get left behind." There's so much work we have to do on ourselves. We have to stay on the cutting edges of everything that's happening in the world because people are looking to us to teach them. People are looking to us to be the intelligent person that knows what's happening, and we have to do the work to be able to do that. You don't have to do that in a 9 to 5. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to wake up and be ready to learn and be ready to unlearn anything that's not working anymore and be flexible. And that's not always.
I think we got that. Ashley, it's time to get fiber because it cut out a couple times. I recently switched to fiber because I was pissed off at the pauses. But Ashley, I think that your message lands and it resonates. I want to just give you just a quick thought on this. We've been here now at EXP for 5 years, and I think about the growth that I've had in 5 years compared to the prior 10. It's exponential. My growth in this last 5 years has been exponential because I've chose to go inward, to face my fears, to face my ego, to face my limiting beliefs about how I wanted to show up in this world, how I viewed money, what I wanted to have from my family. Like, I had to do some work, and I'm still doing the work, you guys. Like, I'm an example of the things that I ask you guys to do. Like, I'm doing it, and I will continue to do it until the day that I die. And so, Ashley, I appreciate your sentiment on this. Vernon, let's go over to you. We'll go Shrey, and then we'll go Patrick, and anybody else that wants to get involved in this conversation. You guys feel free. I told you I was going to hit you in the fields today. Let's go, Vernon.
I love these types of conversations. Elias, you and I can talk about this, and we have up until for days and days and days. Speaking of the power of how we view ourselves, right? That self-image is the most important point of view of them all. Is how you view you, and how I view me. We all have scars. We've got CDC numbers. We've got mistakes that we've made. You go down the list, addictions, kids out of the way. Like, we can just go on and on and on and on and on down the laundry list of things that we've experienced as human beings that have shaped how we see ourselves. That may be what we've done. But the power of being able to shift this image of self says that's not who we are. Although that's the shit that we did. And so when we start to look at ourselves from a shifting in perspective about tapping into our authentic selves and being that, whatever the fuck that is, just be that. And that creates a new self-image, a new perception. And there's power in that, bro, because as you were saying earlier, shoot. How we see ourselves determines how we show up in the world. And if we see ourselves as less than, then we're going to come into the space shriveled up. If we see ourselves as explosive and dynamic, then we're going to take up all the space. It's all in the way that we see self. And damn it, we have the power to change that perception, or you have the power to live in that false, in that limited idea entertained. God, dog, bro, I love this. We could talk about this all day, but yo, be who you want to be. The cool thing about this world is you can be who you want to be and what you want to be. How about we choose to be our authentic selves? Let's give that up. Let's give that person an opportunity. See how much space you take up. Love it, bro.
Vernon, I appreciate you, big dog. And going back to this, you don't see your reality, you see a projection of your beliefs. And you have to ask yourself, are my beliefs truly serving me? And you know what the hardest thing for me as a coach? The hardest thing for me as a coach is to look you in the eyes, to see all this glimmer of potential, glimmer of hope, to see your intellect, to listen to the way that you communicate, and then watch you not take action. That is the hardest part of what I do. It is the hardest part of what I do because I see it. I see the possibility because I see in you what I saw in myself. And I remember having those limiting beliefs. I remember being self-defeating. I remember what not taking action looked like. I remember what lack of discipline was, what sleeping in was. I remember fucking snoozing for 2 hours. I remember that. So when I look at you and I can see the person and I could see this beautiful, beautiful person that you are, and then you don't do it, I understand that there's some deeper work that needs to be done. And if I can't get you there, then you won't reach the success. You won't. And if you can't get yourself there, you're not going to have the success. You see, that's the hardest thing for me. That is the hardest thing for me. And then when I see it happen, when someone turns that curve or that corner and they start doing the work, I'm like, oh my God, Elias, look at what's happening. And I see him grow and I see him start to blossom. And I'm like, show me your fucking receipts. That's you doing the work. The business will come. I promise you. I promise you. I got goosebumps right now. The business will come as long as you guys are doing the work on yourself. If you're still not showing up, still not taking action, still not having the discipline, my friend, you got to get right within. You got to get right within. No amount of words that I could say in a coaching call is going to fucking inspire you to do that unless you truly take that on. It's like telling somebody, don't drink anymore, don't drink anymore, don't drink anymore. Until one day they wake up and say, you know what? I have to do this for myself and I must change because I no longer like the person that I am. Everyone told me to stop drinking. Everybody. Even my wife at the time, she told me to stop drinking until I had to do it on my own and hit a wall. That's when I became the person I am today. Patrick, let's hear from you. Then we'll go to Mohan. Anybody else that has a contribution on this?
No, I love that. That was actually along the lines of something that I was going to say, and kind of to reiterate what Coach V said as well. I think in the process of us, trying to reach this higher self, that person who we're trying to become, it's not really so much about gaining new skills. It's sometimes the most growth comes from the things we let go of, like things and habits that aren't and will not serve our goals. So I really love what you just said, Elias. That's really what I was trying to get at too.
Yeah, sometimes we have things that we've inherited for a long time, society, things that, bad relationships, right? I've seen people like get damaged from a relationship, right? And it took them a long time to be like, wait a minute, I am a badass motherfucker. Wait a minute, what? I need to release all of that, So a lot of that stuff is programming, but we are responsible for the program, right? And until we do that work, the external world is not going to answer all the hopes and dreams that we have. When we talk about life responds to effort, well, life responds to the effort that you're giving yourself, your mind, and your emotions as well, just as it does with your own production. So Patrick, I appreciate you. Shrey, I'm going to go over to you. I'm not going to forget you. Then we'll go to Mohan, and then we'll go to Kia. So Shrey, you're up next.
Oh, I really love this topic. I mean, just everything that was shared on the quotes earlier. It was a lot to digest, but for me, like, I'm really big on going like within. I feel like for the past 3 or 4 years, that's what I've been working on a lot. And I used to tell myself like, oh, I wish I got into this industry, like, after high school. But I realized like, it's not like if I would have joined like after I was out of high school, my mindset and the things that I've been like, my healing journey, I wouldn't have been able to be who I am today. And, through all of the trauma, the pain that I've experienced, it has led me to become this person I am right now, to be this resilient person, to be able to speak in front of all of you, to be able to share, to be vulnerable in general. And I just had this conversation with my advisor. Shout out to Mayuri, by the way. We were talking last night, exactly this. Because, I was sharing with her how like last week was a very hard week for me because it was my late partner's anniversary. And, I've been going through like this, emotions, like just up and down, up and down. And I feel like the last 2 days I've been able to like crawl myself out of it. But it's just, you can see a person smiling and just, you think they're okay, but the spirit and the soul is sad. And that is something that I know I have to work on myself. I have to get myself out of that. No one else can. No matter how much I read books, no matter how videos I watch, no matter how much everybody is sharing all the support, the love. Sometimes it's no, not even sometimes. It's us going within. It's us pulling ourselves out of it and just knowing who you are and like showing love and showing up for yourself, you know?
Mm.
Doesn't matter what anybody say to you. It's how you plant those seeds in your mind to be able to get you out of that. And so I love this topic. I love talking about going within. Just like what Vernon was saying, like I could talk about this for hours with anybody, like just the mindset is really shifting that mindset, and then just be humble and just show up and have love for everybody. And for me is doing it for, you know, my stepdaughter, my goddaughter, my niece, my nephew who look up to me, you know.
Mm.
I don't want to be this model that like, you know, where I want to be a good example for them, you know. So if I
Right.
don't show up for myself, and you know, I don't want to disappoint them. That's
Mm.
what it is. But
You know, first off, you know, my heart goes out to you. I didn't know it was a tough week for you, but I'm really glad that you feel comfortable in this space to share. Shrey's never shared for that long. She shared before, but she has never shared for this long. And so I'm inspired by your words. And somebody on this call has probably just been moved by what you just shared. And I was reminded of this last night. And I'm so glad that you said that. Like, man, I wish I would have found you at a different time, like years and years ago. Or I wish I would have been in this business years ago. I wasn't ready for this business when I was 27, 28, 30 years. I wasn't ready for this business. I wasn't the person that I needed to be in order to build something that was amazing. I wasn't that person. Somebody asked me at dinner last night, Patty Goodspeech. She said, "Oh, you're a Sagittarius." She's like, when did you get committed in relationships? And I was like, what? I was like, when did I get committed in relationships? She's like, yeah. When did you stop being a player? I was like, 7 years ago. I was like, damn, like I had to become a different person in order to have the wife and the life that I have now. I had to change. I wasn't ready for my wife then. Shit, I thought I was going to play the field for years, right? I thought I was going to be that person. But in order for me to have the things that I have in my life, I had to do some fucking work. I had to put my ego aside. I had to realize what I was missing out on life. I had to be humble. I had to realize that love was always there. I had to accept it, right? And so I had to do some work in order to have that. And it came later in life. I'm 45 years old. I'll be 46 next month. But I had to become this person in order to have my external world answer my thoughts about what I needed in this world. So Shrey, I appreciate you. Let's go Mohan, then we'll go Kia, and we're talking about some action, you guys. But I'm so glad that you guys got involved in this conversation. Seriously, let's go Mohan.
Sure. I think I love this topic in the conversation. Vernon, Elias, and Stray, all of your sharings are in alignment, and we all need to change. And what I've noticed in my practice, I practice meditation and in the spirituality, and what I've learned there, I want to share. There is a process for us to change our personality. There's a process. So the process, the foundation of change of personality begins from our thoughts. Every thought is associated with a feeling. Feeling creates our attitude.
Mm.
Attitude drives action. And when I keep repeating action several times, it becomes habit. Collection of several habits is our personality. So if I change my thought, I change my personality.
Wow.
I need to nurture my thought, influence that with feelings. The intensity of the thought create the intensity in my feeling. When somebody looks at you, they can tag you. Hey, you are a nice person. Hey, you are an angry guy, or whatever it is. How did that happen? It happened because of this process. I gave you the breakdown: thoughts, feelings, attitude, actions, and then habits. You repeat the habits, you become you get your personality.
Wow. Mohan, do me a favor, if you can. I think everyone would benefit from that. In case they missed it and didn't write that down, can you just put that in the chat down below before the end of the call?
Sure, I will.
Mohan, straight fire. Really, really appreciate the big dog. Absolutely amazing. Let's go to Kia. Kia, what do you have for us?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning,
This is
sunshine.
hello. This is such an amazing topic, and yes, we can freaking talk about this all day, right? We I just want to share that everything that everybody is saying is so accurate. Like, I'm actually older than I look, so I've been around the sun over 50 years. And yes, and I have grown kids, right? I've taught my kids, I've raised them three things: fear, love, and obsession. That's how I raise my kids. And I now have my son is on his own and my daughter is on her own. When I'm in the Bay, I stay at my son's house in Alameda, which is kind of cool. My point is that I've learned so much walking this earth. I have walked through the valley of death countless times, right? We fall, we get up. It's all about how we get up. I came from a real estate brokerage, so I was very, very stuffy, and I really couldn't be my authentic self, right? My authentic self, as you guys know, I'm a goofball. I'm going to be really freaking honest with you. That's me. But that doesn't apply to every area, right? There's areas where you have to be professional, and there's areas where you can be your authentic self. The way that I actually kind of go about doing this is that I dress the way I want to be addressed, right? That's the simplest way. So if I'm dressing like, I'm super professional and this and that, best believe that's the Kia you're gonna get. You see me in a San Francisco Giants hat, that's the Kia you're gonna get. But I do want to share with everybody that life takes a lot of turns. It does. It really takes a lot of turns. And, who we are, for me, at least, I can only speak for myself. I love my past. I'm going to share this with you guys. I've been to jail. I sold drugs. You know what I'm saying? While I had, my son was like a toddler, right? So, but you know what? I embrace my past because I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for that. So everyone has an amazing story, and I love hearing everybody's story. It makes us who we are. Embrace who you are. That's why you are who you are. And that's why everyone on this call strives to be an entrepreneur, right? Because we all have that spirit. We're like, man, I got out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight out the muscle, And so here we are. And we have thriving businesses. We're closing businesses. We have multiple businesses that we're doing. And I'm just so proud of all of us. I just want to share that with everyone.
Well, my friend, right back at you. We are proud of you, and keep that youth and that light shining, my friend, because we all feel it. And one more time, you guys, I'll put that back up on the screen. I think that this is the center of everything we're talking about today. Entrepreneurship is realizing the person you have to become is harder to build than the business itself. What I want to do is I want to shift the conversation to action. And here's what I want to do. I want to be very segmented about this. You have the weekend coming up, and my hope is that you guys have open houses. If you don't have open houses, then you're still going to use this for the next weekend. You see, we talk a lot about the marketing timeline for an open house. And if you guys have sat in sessions with me, I've talked about that. But I want to know right now, if you guys have an open house, what are all the layers that you guys are doing to market for that open house? So I want you guys to talk to me specifically about the action that you take to market an open house. And if you were just putting signs out there and you guys are just showing up the morning of 7 minutes before the open house, flipping the lights on, getting the stuff out of your car, you were doing this all wrong. So what I want to hear from you guys is, what is the action that you take and the route, the proven process every single time you have an open house, the proven process, right? Tell me what that looks like and what that marketing strategy is every single time. I need 3 to 5 people to get involved in this conversation, and I'm going to wait until the hands go up. So I'm going to wait. I'm just going to look at you weirdly. Okay, I got 1 person, 2 people, and I need 1 more person to get this thing rolling. Who's it going to be? How are you going to market your open house? The marketing of the open house. Thank you guys. I got my 3. It's super full. I got my 4. It's so important. Here's why. That is the bottom of the funnel. Those people that go to the open houses, and I'll say it time and time again, either don't have a life and they're just out on a Sunday going to open houses. How boring is that? Or they actually are going to buy a house in the next 90 days. They're at the bottom of the funnel. So what we need to do is never cut corners on how we market to those people, knowing that those people have the highest propensity to buy a house in the next 90 days. I'm going to go to Michael Swanson. I'm going to excuse myself for 1 second. You guys carry this conversation. Michael, share with them, big dog.
All right. So the way I go about it, I mean, I guess it's kind of effective. I've gotten some business from open house, but I print out flyers. I get out there about an hour and a half before the open house. I promote it on my Instagram every day for the week. I get out there about an hour and a half before the open house. I set up. I put the signs out. I print at least 50 flyers, and I try to door knock at least no less than 50 doors in the neighborhood for an hour, before the open house gets started. And then I just let the open house do its thing. Brandy, I think it's on you.
Do you do open
Thank you, guys.
houses? Do you do open houses until you sell the home? I mean, if you were the listing agent, or what does that process look like?
If I'm the listing agent, I for sure do open houses for the first 2 weekends myself. And then, if other agents, want to host it, I'll let them go host it, the rest of the weekends while it's still on the market.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going to pass it over to Brandy. I want to give you guys some thoughts on this. And what I want is, my hope is that you guys listen to these things and say, okay, I'm going to add a couple layers as well. And I like that. Or maybe I don't do that at all. But why do we just open house or knock for the open house? Why aren't we going back to that same neighborhood, letting them know, like, if you had a banger open house and you had tons of people come through, you should probably go back the next day and knock on the neighbors' doors again. Hey guys, just want to give you a quick update. Just want to let you know the Anderson's house, the one that we're hosted open, they had 40 groups come through. So I just want to let you guys know it is an amazing, amazing time. There's so much demand in this market. So once again, if you know anybody that's considering a move, please call me. I'd love to be able to share with them and help them. Like, now it's like multiple layers. So Michael, good stuff. Let's go. Brandy, then TT, you're on deck.
Okay, so for open houses, and actually, Elias, you taught me this from the sales mastery thing. And it's funny is I realized doing this process was a prime example of who I am, who I strive to be, and it brings out a lot of creativity. So for open houses, if you have a lot of time, because I know there's some days where it's like, hey, can you host my open house? It's tomorrow. So in those cases, you don't have a great timeline. However, in a great, perfect real estate world, if there's even such a thing, with given timeframes, for instance, I'll just give an example for Brianna's listing in Patterson. Not really knowing that I was going to do her open house on Saturday, but last week I had a chance to take my kids to a little pumpkin patch. Well, I decided to go to the pumpkin patch in Patterson. They have this cute little farm, and I took videos. So that's actually going to be my marketing. It's not going to be a standard flyer. It's going to be like, hey, telling anybody coming in, look at what you have to look forward to for future Halloween, future holidays. Right now it's Halloween. So I always try to find, I think my first open house I did was in Modesto, and I went to a local donut shop, Mr. T's Donut in Modesto, open 24 hours. Who wouldn't want to know that? And I feel like for open houses, we are the marketer for the community, for the open house, for ourselves. And that's how we're drawing people in. And then we create that network, right? Then we go out to door knocking. So I always try to find like a business, team up with a business, or some type of entertaining or whatever the area, the highlight of the area is. Tag the business, go in there. Like when I did the donut shop, I left flyers in there. They let me leave my open house flyers there. Door knock the neighborhood, do a personal invite to the neighbors. Come in, I always sometimes I try to do a raffle. Like one year I did, it was Father's Day, and I was raffling off a gift card to In-N-Out for anyone, and they can gift it for their dad, or if they were a woman winning, they can totally take it on for themselves. But just something where you can still connect with people, you're providing value, you're being fun, or whoever you are. I feel like open houses is our best way to connect with people, show who we are and what value we provide before even them signing our BRBC to be a buyer, or if we're the listing agent, that's even more so of the value that we're bringing. And if I live next door, why wouldn't I want to choose that agent that just marketed the heck out of my community? So I think it's just leveraging a whole aspect of your business through an open house. Like, because we don't get to be in front of people all that much. So I feel like open houses is like the doorway to really, really show, besides getting into anyone can write a contract. I mean, anyone can go and study and get their license, but in these moments really sets us apart. So I feel like if we have a chance to come full throttle for an open house in a perfect world, do all the things, do the marketing beforehand, do the door knocking, and then continue wash, rinse, and repeat afterwards.
Okay, you guys, textbook. I think every single week, if you're like, oh, well, what do I make for content? If anything, you should be able to, we as a company can create an animated reel for you about your open house. Okay, that's done. Easy. Submit the information. We'll do an animated reel for you if you give us at least 2 days. You should do a reel about the property. What's up, you guys? Hey, I'm at 123 Main Street. I'm hosting this house open on Saturday as well as Sunday. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on a cul-de-sac in Modesto. Let's go take a quick property tour. And then a third video about something local in that area. That's a good week of content. And then you sprinkle it in with other stuff. Love this. Let's go, TT. What do you got for us, big dog?
So I'm still refining my open house strategy, but I've gotten better every time. I definitely door knock and just chat with the neighbors. I think it's very important to door knock the neighborhood the first week that the open house is happening, because the neighbors are more interested. Whereas I did an open house recently and the house was on the market for about 63 days and I door knocked. They're like, aren't you late? That house has been on the market already. And they weren't interested in coming at all. But my friend did an open house. She did a twilight open house on a Thursday before the very first open house on a Saturday. And I thought this was a hit and I want to do it all the time. So she had wine, she had cheese, she had snacks. She door knocked the neighborhood, invited all the neighbors, and she invited a couple of her girlfriends just to sit, laugh, and girl talk in the kitchen. So we have like a little happy hour in the kitchen. But what the value that it brought is that the people that came to the open house felt more comfortable to chat with us. They just sat at the table with us and just started talking. So I thought that was extremely valuable because they were more comfortable to approach us. So I'm going to do that all the time.
I love it. TT, I love how you said you're refining the process. You guys have a process and then just stick to your route, like every single time. I'm going to give you guys this open house marketing timeline. If you've come to personal or in-person trainings, I've done this before. Here's a list of all the things to bring in your war kit. And then here's a Monday through Saturday schedule. I'm just going to put this in the chat down below. You guys, copy link. I'm going to do this. Run the same route every single time. Now, you might have to make some adjustments because of time. I get it if you got it last minute, but there you guys go. It's an effective process. Let's go Evangeline and then go House of Mama San, and then we'll start to wrap sesh.
Yeah, I actually don't have a contribution. I had the question down in the chat. I was wondering what marketing content all of y'all like seasoned open house agents have within the open house. So of course you're flyer to give people with the price, whoop-de-woo, but I've been seeing some agents having like a list reports blown up on a poster on an easel. I've seen some of y'all have like buyer's consultation and the listing consultation already there. I'm just wondering if there's anything else creative that y'all are bringing in that you saw is effective.
I love this, and let me chime in really quick for you. Having a storyboard, having list reports, area information, school, list of local restaurants, and then a book that it says off-market listings, right? Private clients only. It's a book, and it sits right there on that table with all your flyers where you're checking everybody in. Oh, what's that? Oh, those are for my private clients. Oh, well, how do we get access to that? Oh, well, let me get your information. I'd love to tell you more about how we have off markets. Not only do we have our off market channel through Top Agent Network, but we have Zenlist, aka EXP exclusives. And what you can do is you could just print some of those from Slack, put them into a folder, and then have that as something that you use as bait to get a conversation going with the consumers. And then also having small little stands in each of the rooms, and on there is a QR code. If you want access to our off-market category here or catalog, here's our QR code. And what that does is that goes to a type form. They put in their information and then you respond to them. So if they don't want to sign in, every single room has your QR code. Every single room. Those are things that I've seen work at a very, very high level. Let's go, House of Mama-san, who is an experienced person. Let's go. What do you got for us, big dog?
Yeah, I always bring a big kit of things. Well, first, before open house, I always go a couple days before. I walk the property. So you're studying the property, you're doing videos. Hey, do market videos. We're going to do an open house this weekend. Come see me. I always tag Elias, Vernon, Kenny, all the people, like folks on my team, so that they can repost for me, right? So market that. I always print the pest report and home inspection, and I keep that to myself, and that just gives me a reason to talk to some of the buyers and folks that are coming through. Hey, this is what's going on in the property. Also print active properties in the neighborhood. Hey, if it's not this property that you like, there's other active properties in the neighborhood. It's closed right now, but I'll be happy to take you after open house and show you around. Would you like that? That kind of thing. Buyers consultations, I always kind of have those in the drawer, or I have them sitting out so that I can give them to new buyers that I think, don't have an agent. And some things like a kit, I bring a portable record player, which is actually helped start things that spark conversation, right? I light candles, scented candles.
Wait, you bring a record player?
I do. I bring a print, and actually that helped start that actually got me into contract in a house that I did an open house, and somebody's like, "Oh my God, you play records?" Oh, I love records. I'm like, yeah, I love vinyl, and we'll start having a conversation. So we're not talking about the house; we're talking about something totally different, and it kind of just gets, something relatable to somebody, and it just.
Okay, I haven't heard this before. Get a portable that's called Crosley. You guys can just get a portable one. It's cheap. It plugs in. You guys, I love this.
It's fun, yeah, and it's it's a house. It's so it's a record player. It's cute and it's catchy, and people. It's a great conversation starter. So any way you can engage with people who are coming in the house,
Wow. Really, really good stuff. I love all the shares today, you guys. And we'll have more of these conversations. I love the candles. I love the music. I've gone to ones that had a harp player, had a guitar player, a piano player for the luxury listen. So you guys, really, really good stuff. Let's wrap session there. I'm going to get 2 key takeaways before we head out. I'm going to make sure I respect everybody's time. Let's go over to Angelique. 1 key thought, 1 key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll. You got it. You're almost there. Let's go. Let's find that mute button.
Am I here? Okay. 1 key takeaway is to, you can't succeed in your business until you do the work within. You have to, learn about yourself first before you can learn about all these other things that have to do with, what we're doing is real estate, right? You can come to all the sessions, take all the classes, study, 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 but it's not going to matter unless you can work on yourself and just be disciplined. Like, I had to work on myself, like, and I'm still not even there, to be honest. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to prioritize myself instead of like, oh, I have all these things to do for other people, all these things to do for work. So, you know, you just gotta do.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here saying, you got to dig a little bit deeper. Here's what I want you to look for. The next time in this next week, right? Let's just do a small bite-sized chunk of this. The next time you find yourself not staying consistent, not doing the action, not putting yourself at whatever it is, right? Not putting yourself on camera, you have to ask yourself, what belief about myself is showing up right now? Right now in this moment. Why am I not taking action? What's standing in my way? What belief am I holding on to right now? And how in this moment can I win this? How in this moment can I win? Is it a new belief? Do I need to have to start to incorporate something different? Even if it's just that one thing, right? Check up from the neck up. Have a quick conversation with yourself. I want you guys to start identifying these things over this next week. But what you'll find is like, you're probably in a pattern. And it's probably like, you're going back to your old programming. So the only way to change these things is to be really, really conscious about these things. You guys, this is the world that I live in. And I'm going to help you guys because I know what it's done for me and for my life. Listen, nothing is perfect, but I'll tell you what, I could be broke right now, or I could have millions and millions of dollars right now. No matter what, I'm still going to be okay because I'm right within. So that's what I want for everybody. And I never want you guys to stall, to fumble, to not take action, to not live consistently. Because if you are, then there's something that's out of alignment. And I want to help you guys all get there. So listen, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for contributing at a very, very high level today. I told you guys we're going to go a little bit deeper. So next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we will not have coaching. Monday, we're going to be at a mastermind. Wednesday, I'm on stage for EXPCon representing our amazing community here. And then on Friday, I'm taking a personal day because it's my anniversary and we're going to go drive to Key Largo. And so you guys have 1 week off. You don't need me as a reminder to tell you to go and do the things that you know that you need to do in this beautiful thing called life and business. So I'm going to challenge each of you to stay accountable to yourself. Maybe call a homie on the team to say, hey, what's up? What are you doing? You want to go do some script role playing? Like, take that extra time that you have, those 3 hours, and go do something with it. If you absolutely need something, feel free to give me a call, hit me up. I'm always available. But before you guys head out, Doralee, can you take yourself off of mute really quick?
Good morning.
Doralee, top producer from Arizona. Say hi to Doralee. She is the homie.
Hi, everybody.
All right, listen, you guys, I appreciate you. Some of your faces I will see in Miami. I know, Verdon, you fly out tomorrow. I'll see you in Miami, big dog. I'll see Brandy. I'll see Brianna, a couple other faces. But you guys have an amazing, amazing week. And as always, keep it moving toward your dreams, goals, and vision, and make it a week that truly matters.